This is the Super Bowl weekend edition of iFiber One News, where we present some of the top stories from this week and your weekend weather forecast. I'm Bethany Jenks. Stay tuned for the weekend edition of iFiber One News.
From the iFiber One HD studio here in the heart of the Columbia Basin, this is iFiber One News, your #1 source for local news, sports headlines, and our very own Weather Center forecast covering the entire Columbia Basin. This is iFiber One News, and it starts now.
One of our top stories for this week was about the overwhelming support for the community for the Guerra family following the death of Chris Guerra on January 18th. Reporter Joe Utter has the story.
The Guerra family has been overwhelmed by the support from the community following the death of Chris Guerra. More than $14,000 has been raised on a GoFundMe account from friends and family to local businesses and people the family doesn't know. Chris was shot and killed January 18th outside the Moses Lake Jack-in-the-Box. Chris's older brother, Jabet, spoke with iFiber One News and addressed the support from the community, saying, quote, "He was a big-time family man. Chris had the biggest heart that any 22-year-old could ever have, and all this support we are getting from the community shows how much Chris meant to this town. It's a heartwarming feeling." Jabet said Chris was a very outgoing person who loved to have fun with family and friends. Chris turned 22 on January 18th. The night of January 17th was supposed to be one of those fun times with friends to celebrate his birthday. Chris and his friends were at a bar on West Broadway Avenue when they decided to leave after seeing a dispute allegedly involving Jason Williams, the suspect in the shooting of Chris. A video posted online by a friend who was with Chris when they were at the bar shows them walking on Broadway and making a last-minute decision to stop at Jack-in-the-Box. Chris and his 3 friends ended up behind Williams and his wife, Martha Mejia, in the drive-thru. Williams and Guerra allegedly began fighting in the drive-thru when Williams grabbed a gun from his vehicle and shot Guerra. A memorial still sits outside the drive-thru at the fast food restaurant. Jabet said he's praying justice will be served for his brother and family. This is Joe Utter reporting for iFiber One News.
A Stop the Violence march is planned for Guerra at the Moses Lake Jack-in-the-Box at 5 p.m. this evening. The owner of Grant County's first retail marijuana store is fighting a lawsuit over the former name of his business. Reporter Jeff Chu spoke with the owner and has the details.
The owner of Grant County's first marijuana retail shop in Ephrata is fighting a corporate media company's lawsuit that accuses him of infringing on its marijuana magazine's trademark. High Times Magazine's parent company, Trans High Corporation, filed a lawsuit in August against shop owner Richard "Rick" Reimers and his business, formerly called High Times Station. The magazine is claiming trademark infringement for the use of the name High Time. Reimers said he's fighting the lawsuit that goes to Spokane Federal District Court in September. He says it's a matter of principle.
Somebody has to stand up to them, and that's what I'm doing, standing up to them.
Reimers' Pot Shop was the first to open in Grant County last summer. Reimers was one of the first 24 retailers to be licensed to sell recreational cannabis products by Washington State Liquor Control Board under Initiative 502. Washington voters approved legalization of the production and retail sale of marijuana in the state in 2012. Reimers explained how the lawsuit came about.
It should have never had started in the first place. They sent an agreement to sign back in August or something, and they wanted $15,000 or $10,000, and we told them no. That we wouldn't pay it, but we would take the name down and all that stuff. We started over as Canna Rail Station. And then High Times went ahead and filed suit after we had done everything they asked. The only thing we didn't do was to pay them their money for damages. What damages, we're not sure.
In the lawsuit, Trans High Corporation claims Reimers used High Time in his store's name in an effort to deceive the public into thinking there was a connection between the shop and the publication. Reimers denies that. Shortly after opening his shop in July, Reimers changed the name of his business to Canna Rail Station and replaced the sign outside the business. Reimers said the lawsuit intensified last week.
We answered their suit, And they sent us a settlement request yesterday or day before. Now they're asking for $15,000 to settle it. And so it's going on to court. You know, we're scheduled for September of this year.
Attempts to contact the New York City attorney for Trans High Corporations and High Times magazine were unsuccessful. Reimer said his business is picking up at the Ephrata shop, but so are his legal fees, now at $14,000. I'm Jeff Chu for iFiber One News.
And now we take a look at people being sought by law enforcement.
This is Sheriff Tom Jones with the Grant County Sheriff's Office. Each of the people you see here have a warrant for their arrest. If you see any of these people, we ask you do not attempt to detain or apprehend them, but call us at 509-762-1160 or send us an email at crimetips@co.grant.wa.us. If the person is presenting a danger, call 911. With your help, we can bring these people to justice and make our community safer.
We will be right back after this.
At Moses Lake Community Health Center, we have had the privilege to serve the local communities since 1978.
What I like about working at this clinic more than any other clinic that I've worked at is the patient care. With the patient care team that we've assembled, it allows us to take care of as many facets of the patient and their family's needs.
Please take the opportunity to experience the high-quality care provided at our clinics.
When you find out about the DQ $5 lunch, all this food for only $5, you gotta tell people about it. So I situated nice. Frosty drink next to this juicy grilled burger and fries. Get my Sunday, boom. I just dropped a $5 lunchogram on all my friends. Get ready for a little $5 envy.
Michael, we like your style. The $5 lunch. Entree, fries, drink, plus a sundae. Only at your DQ. This is fan food, not fast food.
Hi everybody, meteorologist Don Morelli with you here on iFiber Channel 1 News Weather. Your forecast overnight tonight through the weekend is brought to you by Bud Cleary Toyota dealers. Toyota, let's go places. And the situation for the weekend, we'll call it pretty much a half and half weekend. Sunday is going to be the worst of the 2 days. Saturday, if you're out and about, it should be pretty fine throughout most of the day, but lots of clouds still. But showers, if not snow showers, coming in after midnight and the pre-dawn hours on Sunday morning, after midnight Saturday night. And then it's off and on showers into Monday, and we'll watch for periodic fog as well. Midweek sunshine, Tuesday, Wednesday expected, but then more showers later on in the work week next week. 40 and 35 the extremes today, a trace of precipitation here in Ephrata. And in Moses Lake, we hit the daytime high, the normal daytime high of 39. Morning low, pretty mild for this time of the year, 34 degrees. Now currently 34 degrees is the dew point. And with the temperature up near 38 right now, with mostly cloudy skies, with the cooling, we'll look for some low clouds and some fog to redevelop. So if it's cleared out in your area, at least the clouds lifted and all that stuff, we'll see the clouds redevelop. In fact, this model really shows it nicely. Here we are. You have some pockets of clouds in the basin. As the overnight cooling, you see the clouds actually expands because of the cooling. But what we're watching after Saturday afternoon and Sunday morning, we'll see significant moisture coming on in overnight into Sunday morning, a little bit of precipitation. Now you see we have the northern basin could see a little rain snow line pushing north throughout the day. We'll have to watch that, but for the most part it'll be liquid for most of us. And then we see a lingering shower threat into Monday as well. So specifically for our first day of the weekend, statewide, we have lots of sun showing up on the map here, but in general it's mostly cloudy in many areas. And again, during the evening hours, you'll see thickening clouds in our area, and especially overnight into Sunday morning. But for a good portion of the day, you'll see not too bad. A little bit above normal with the temperatures well up into the 30s to lower 40s. I don't think it's too bad of a day. Watch out for some brief morning fog again, as we saw this morning. And we are looking for Sunday to be a little unsettled. In fact, you'll see the shower threat coming on in. Now again, late Saturday night, Sunday morning in the pre-dawn hours, this could begin as snow. And the northern half of the basin could still see some snow throughout the morning of Sunday. But then we become warm enough that most of us should be seeing rain. A little break Tuesday, Wednesday, with more showers coming in Thursday and Friday. So we'll call it an off and on showery pattern, and watch out for that periodic fog through the weekend. So again, go Seahawks, big game. Sunday night. Don't miss it. And speaking of which, sports is coming on up.
What better way to start the new year than in a new Toyota? We're making it easier than ever with 3 ways to save. Your choice of financing as low as 0%, up to $2,500 in customer cash back, or low payment leases on your favorite Toyota model, like RAV4, now just $199 per month. Just pick your favorite Toyota, the best savings options for you, and drive away. It's that easy, so start your year right. For full details, see any of your Inland Empire Toyota dealers today. Toyota, let's go places.
The Super Bowl now just days away. I have a high temperature with a case of Seahawk fever. But let's start with some local sports. It was the Battle of the Basin for wrestling in Quincy as the Jacks hosted the Tigers. This is a match both teams never want to lose.
There was a big crowd on hand in Quincy for senior night as 7 Jack wrestlers had their last home match. It was also the Battle of the Basin versus rival Ephrata Tigers. Senior Victor Salgado got things going for Quincy, wrestling at 113 pounds. Salgado was able to pin Cade Cox in a hard-fought match. One of the best matches of the night was between Quincy's Raul Barejas and Ephrata's Miguel Rodriguez, wrestling at 126 pounds. Check out this double reversal to a pin for Barejas. The Jacks wound up taking the match over the Tigers, moving to 7-2 in conference, and are now tied for second with Othello.
Big Bend is currently tied for first in the NWAC East region. We will be broadcasting Big Bend's home game versus Spokane this Saturday. Shooting guard DeAndre Johnson is a key player on the Running Vikes squad.
DeAndre Johnson is a sophomore guard from Las Vegas, Nevada. He's one of the few sophomores on a team full of freshmen.
The youngest team I think Coach Bolt ever had. A lot of freshmen.
Even though the Vikes have a lot of freshmen, DeAndre still has belief in his squad.
I really do feel like we have a chance at winning the championship this year. Strongly feel that way.
DeAndre is a long way away from Sin City, but he still feels at home at Big Bend.
Oh, I'm from Las Vegas, Nevada. So we have 3 guys from Las Vegas, Nevada, and then another guy from Nevada in the same area. So pretty nice having guys from back home.
When the conference schedule comes out, there's always one game DeAndre circles: Spokane.
Our rivals, Spokane, like always, Spokane Community College. Pretty good team. It's always an intense game when we play them.
For Fiber One News, Sean Wells.
I can't believe this day is finally here. The Seahawks are back in the Super Bowl. It's been a long time coming for Seattle fans, but hey, we deserve this. All the 12s out there, be cheering hard Sunday night. My MVP vote, beast mode. Go Hawks.
Hello, my name is Cheryl Kono. I am your local Ephrata Farmers Insurance Agent. Here at Cheryl Kono Insurance Agency, our customers always come first. We don't just work here, we live here. Please stop by the office, call, email, or Facebook me for a free auto, home, life, business, or farm and ranch quote today. We are insurance. We are farmers. Come in for a free quote today.
We are farmers. Bum, ba-dum, bum, 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 bum.
Well, one thing I knew from being a patient myself was that a dental office is a scary place to come to. And so we wanted everything possible to make sure that our office is a comfortable place for our patients to visit. The patients that I have, my clients, have made me a part of this community, and we want to give back in every way possible.
Our next story is about the Moses Lake High School cheer and stunt team that's preparing for the state championship Saturday in Seattle. Reporter Jeff Chu has the story.
You see them perform at Moses Lake High School sports events, but Saturday, the Moses Lake cheer and stunt squad will flip and fly for the state championship in Seattle.
Single toe in the yak. 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, yeah!
It's an exciting time for Moses Lake Cheer Squad head coach Mikey Carlisle, who has been coaching cheer and stunt teams for 10 years. But this year she notices a difference.
I think they're the best that I've had, yes.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
During a recent practice at the high school gym, Carlisle explained why the team is at its best.
Just the skill level. Cheerleading, when you do all the stunts and the tumbling, it's all about how hard of a skill you're doing. So and then you have to do it clean. So every year, you know, our stunts just get that much harder because the kids get better at what they're doing. So just experience, you build on it every year.
The Moses Lake High School cheer and stunt team will compete at the Washington Interscholastic Activities Association State Cheerleading Championship at the University of Washington. Carlisle explained what kind of competition the Moses Lake team will be up against.
The state competition has about 55 schools representative from across the state, and it ranges from small schools all the way to 4A, so all classifications. And they will compete in different categories based on whether or not they tumble and also whether or not they have boys on their team, and then by the size, the number of people on the floor at the time. So it's all split like small, medium, large, extra large, and then there's co-ed divisions.
Moses Lake High senior Lexi Howell talked about her team's strengths.
I'm on the co-ed team, and I think our strongest is definitely our stunts. And we do some really hard spinning tricks, and I think that we're really strong in that, and we can beat the teams that have really similar things as us.
Senior cheer and stunt team members April Suarez and Sierra Steffens talked about their skills.
Being a senior on the team, I think I've had a lot of experience with performing, so I think my specialty is definitely comforting the younger cheerleaders on the team, and my flyer is a freshman, so from that I get to help with her a lot.
I would say it's stunting. I'm a flyer, and tumbling really isn't my thing, but I think that I'm a really good flyer.
The team most recently came away victorious from the Hanford Desert Cheer Classic in Richland against 70 teams. So Coach Carlisle is confident that her team will hold up and beat the competition at state this Saturday.
I think their chances are pretty good. The co-ed team will go up against a very strong school out of Kent, and they haven't won nationals, but they've come close to winning nationals in the past. And they have multiple teams at their school, and they win state championships like pretty much every year. So the co-ed team has to go up against them, and that's a really tough team. But I think they're pretty comparable.
I'm Jeff Chu for iFiber One News.
Go Chiefs!
We'll be right back.
Have you been to iFiber1.com? The most up-to-date news in the Columbia Basin is just one click away. With news, sports, and weather, you can stay in the know with what's going on in your community. Read your news on the go by visiting iFiber1.com on your tablet or even your phone. Follow us on Facebook for quick updates and discuss the news with others in our area. Your #1 news source in the Columbia Basin is iFiber1.com. Check it out today.
Attention business owners. The deadline is fast approaching to advertise in the 2015 edition of the Moses Lake Local Book. Don't be the only business left out. In print or online, it's the best way to reach your customer when they're ready to buy. Call today to place your ad by calling 877-738-9829 or by visiting us online at www.statewideyp.com. The Moses Lake Local Book Telephone Directory. Simply the best advertising.
Welcome back. The next story is about the Kiwanis Club of Moses Lake that celebrated the 100th year of Kiwanis International. Reporter Jeff Chu was there and has the story.
The Kiwanis Club of Moses Lake, which itself has a long history, celebrated 100 years of Kiwanis International. The Moses Lake Club is 69 years old, and some 30 members this week marked the International Club's celebration of the century with lunch, laughs, accolades, and a presentation of the club's rich history. Several members of the Ephrata Kiwanis Club joined the club in Moses Lake at the Civic Center celebration. Moses Lake Kiwanis President Louis Logan, who is chairman of the Dictionary Project that gives out a dictionary to every third grader in Moses Lake, presented a lively look at the club's history. He talked about the Kiwanis' accomplishments that make him most proud.
Locally, I'm proud of the fact that we have started one more club, which is K Kids at Longview School here in Moses Lake. For Kiwanis International, I'm very proud that we've raised $75 million to bring death from tetanus in children down to a rarity.
The Moses Lake Kiwanis Club and Moses Lake High School Key Club most recently raised more than $10,000 for the Eliminate project to help eliminate maternal and neonatal tetanus. Kiwanis' main objective is to help youth. Logan said he hopes his club will get Big Bend Community College students involved in Kiwanis.
I'd like to see us get a K club going at Big Bend Community College. Then we would have K Kids, we would have Builders Club, we would have Action Club, and Circle K. We'd have all the clubs that are sponsored by Kiwanis in our town.
Kiwanis Club of Moses Lake sponsors K Kids at Longview and Lakeview Elementary Schools, the Builders Club at Frontier Middle School, and Key Club at Moses Lake High School. It also sponsors Action Club for adults with disabilities. At 19, Hannah Marsh was the youngest Kiwanis member attending the 100th anniversary celebration. She joined Kiwanis a year ago after serving as a Key Club and Builders Club member at Moses Lake High School. She defined what Kiwanis means to her.
Basically, it just means like giving back to the community. I've gotten a chance to do a lot. I've been a scholarship recipient, and so I don't think it's fair just to like take that money. I love giving back to the community and meeting people.
Marsh said she plans to return to the high school to share with students how they can give to their community.
And since I left the high school, I think it's important to talk to the students about why it's important to have community pride and things about like giving back to where you live.
The oldest Kiwanis member attending the celebration was Dean Noland at 87. He's been a member for more than 20 years and was quick with his answer why he joined the club.
Oh, it sounded like they've done a lot of good work.
I'm Jeff Chu for iFiber One News.
Rounding out this week's news coverage is a story from the Ephrata School District, which is looking to replace its expiring maintenance and operations levy. Reporter Devin Higgins has the story.
Ballots for the upcoming election went out this week, and the Ephrata school district's making their last push for voters to pass their maintenance and operations levy. The new levy replaces the current four-year one, which passed in 2011 and expires this year. The district will receive about $4 million per year in annual revenue through 2019. Thanks to a higher assessed property value in the district, taxpayers will see a slight dip in levy rates of about 10 cents over the next 4 years. Along with the levy funds, the district will get an additional $2 million annually from the state. Combined, those funds make up about 22% of the district's annual revenue. Superintendent Dr. Jerry Simon said both aspects are crucial for the district's long-term outlook.
Our levy must pass in order to receive the levy equalization, and the levy equalization of $2,033,000 plus our local levy of 3.775 is about 5.8, which is not 28% of our last year's revenues. It's 24.7%. So we're not running a maximum levy. We have the authority to run one at 28%. The board chose to run one at 24.7%, just enough to continue to meet our needs, to maintain our current programs, services, maintenance, operation, and all activities for kids.
Election day for the levy is February 10th. In Ephrata, Devin Higgins for iFiber One News.
And that wraps up our Super Bowl weekend edition. iFiber One News will be back on Monday at 5 p.m. with the latest news from around the Columbia Basin. Thank you for watching, and go Hawks!